Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Hey everybody, welcome back for another War Thunder Monday off-schedule release. This is a bit of an older video. It is actually from the 25th of February of 2017, so it's been sitting in my to-be-worked-on folder for a little while. Also ahead of time, there are a lot of Discord notifications, chirps in this one. I'll try to tell you whenever it's one of mine, so that you know if you have Discord open while you're listening to this. My Discord tends to get spammy sometimes, which is fine, but I need to figure out if there's a way in Discord that I can join a voice channel and then have that automatically mute the chat notifications from being in a noise. I'm not sure if there's a way to associate that kind of behavior or not. I need to see if I can figure that out. Anyway, if anybody knows, say so, because that would be great. Particularly if I were streaming and using Discord for my streaming, it'd be good to not have a bunch of Discord dings going off for everybody who's listening to the stream. Anyway, back to the battle. This is obviously prior to me spading out my Centurion and my Conway and also getting the Chieftain, since this is from February 25th, like I said. So, being a Conquest map, I headed over to the Conquest objective. I know, crazy me. I used the Conway because it's the fastest thing I had in my lineup, basically. Didn't see that guy at first, somehow totally blocked a shot from him. Don't know what happened there, but was able to get a shot on him before he could back away. Not exactly sure how that happened. And then right about here, eep, a great white Leo. Now this Leo actually happens to be, speaking of Discord, one of my YouTube subscribers and one of my recently new joined Discord members as well. So I'll wait until we see who he is here to let you all be waiting in eager anticipation. Now I decided to try and just race past him and get a shot off at him, and somehow I managed to survive a shot from him, which turned out to be Heat FS later, I found out. But I got past him, which was kind of hilarious. And then somebody else knocks him out. And it's Black Rhino. Hi, Black Rhino. Welcome to the Discord. Totally lucked out there on that shot against the Leo. And was able to pull behind these buildings here and try to reload my 120 mil here. Now I did see that there was another Leopard up beyond there and managed to pull forward just right to get a third kill there. So a pretty good start to the old Conway battle here. Survived another hit somehow. I'm not exactly sure how I kept surviving all these hits. Made it into their capture point just as I lose my right side track there. And it's a mouse. That's a bit of a problem. And then if you see the chat over here on the left, that's how I knew. Well, I knew it was Black Rhino when I saw him take the kill, but then he realized it was me because he had shot a Conway and saw my Conway getting a bunch of kills. So I managed to capture the zone right before the mouse turns around and backs up and gets another massive shot. I mean, you can see an awful lot of enemy presence over here, but our team is not so much anywhere near the Conquest point. A little bit too much repair to be needed here, and there we go. So I didn't exactly bounce the Cheat FS. It did damage my commander, although it didn't do anywhere near the damage that you would expect for a 105mm Cheat FS shell hitting a Conway in the turret. But I don't know what happened. Anyway. Back to the cannon barrel we go. So I'm trying to come back and find the mouse to bomb. There is enemy air up. Pro tip, if you see enemy air up, whether you're in a plane or not, just type it out to the team. Just say something about, like, enemy air up, or if you can recognize and identify the type of airplane, just type what kind of airplane it is. Now, when you see a couple of enemies right here by the... That's my Discord. See a couple of enemies here, you gotta drop bombs on them, especially when you catch two enemies right near each other like that. And that was a nice little fourth kill. Rocket Panzer II, too bad it wasn't a hot, but a rocket ATGM taken out is an ATGM taken out. Good enough. And this is kind of funny too, because if you notice the guy in chat there saying that he's still alive with the smiley face, I had a feeling he was talking to me because I'd just dropped bombs. So I knew where he was and just happened to line up very nicely on the silo and barns here. And guess what? It was him indeed. You were saying? So, out of bombs, headed for home. Got a pair of kills. Now, I don't understand why I'm the one who's a prick, because I'm not the one who started the shit talking in all chat. If he didn't say anything, I wouldn't have come back around and tried to bomb him. So, whatever, dude. I don't care. But if you're gonna send taunts across all chat, don't expect them to just go ignored. And if somebody doesn't ignore them, don't start saying somebody else is a prick. That's a little bit unreasonable. Anyway, I was not able to drop bombs on the mouse, and I feel a little bad for that because that Falcon just paid for it. But I did take out a Leopard and a Rocket Panzer that was on the side of the... We're both on the side of a battle there, so that would have been a problem. Now, one thing I will say, and I'm sure all the jet, anything, bomber or fighter pilots will agree with me, is that most of the runways in this game are nowhere near long enough. Now, the planes that have got themselves air brakes, not such a big deal. And yes, of course, you realize that the there is definitely an enemy plane coming to shoot me down here. Now, hilariously, somehow he crashed into me without shooting, and I survived it with only minimal damage. I don't exactly know what happened there. I was going too slow to get my engines restarted, so that's a problem. But all I could do was set my flaps to landing flaps and hope that they were enough to carry me all the way to the runway, which... Something else about the runways in this game is they all seem to be at the end of a hill instead of being on some nice flat terrain. So, as you can tell, I don't quite have the glide capacity performance to make it all the way to my runway here. So, that's going to be the end of my B-57. Well, rather my Canberra. It's not a B-57, sorry. My Cannonbera. At least on the plus side, the 162 didn't get a kill for it. But I got 2 kills myself in the Cannonbera, so... Since the mouse is still a problem, and I've got a much better chance taking out a mouse with some bombs and my absolutely beloved Sea Fury, even though I only had 250 pounders at this point still. I didn't have any 500s yet. Oh, and it turns out the 162 was Black Rhino. That's even funnier. Well, hello again, Black Rhino. I didn't notice that when I initially played this game. That's pretty funny. I'm guessing that's why he didn't shoot at me. He was trying to just ram me to death. So it's actually funnier now. So, trying to come in and get bombs on the mouse, and there's a little bit of way too hot AAA coming in at me, and I could not get the nose down on the Sea Fury. It did not want to dive at all whatsoever to go in after that AAA and try to bomb it out. So... we're bleeding out now with tickets, and if you notice, nobody's really anywhere near the A point. All of our team is just kind of camping out in the woods and not really paying any attention to the objective. Now, we've got a little bit of a ticket advantage, but it's bleeding away quickly, and it's going to take these guys some time to get over there. We really don't have all this time in the world to wait and not go after the point. Hence my chat, as in, hurry up. And then I got taken out by the Gepard anyway, so... Now luckily the 551 took out the Gepard, so I wouldn't have to deal with him again. Initially it was coming back in the Centurion, but I went with the... or in the Carnarvon rather, but I went with the Centurion because of the smaller respawn ticket cost, hoping that if I could get a few points here with my Centurion and then got killed, I might be able to come back with the Carnarvon, because we were going to need more spawns here. If you look at our team, they are nowhere near the objective. And that starts getting a little annoying in a Conquest map when you don't hold the point and your team, no one on your team is anywhere near it. You're not going to win that way. Their team is all sitting around the A point and our team is nowhere near it, and we're thinking we're going to snipe them to death to pull off the victory here? I don't understand that kind of thinking. And I know a lot of you are going to argue and say that charging the point isn't how you win games, but it sure helps you not lose, I'll tell you that. So anyway, as I'm heading back for the cap a second time, there are more players moving in closer now. It's not just me. Thankfully. And there's the other thing, when you start losing players, you really need them to get back for the capture point. One thing about the Centurion chassis tanks, boy, they do not like to turn. And there's our buddy the mouse again. I'm not entirely sure how he didn't see me to shoot me there, but I needed to get into the capture point as fast as I could. Now I'm trying to get out of the line of sight of that mouse while I capture here, get behind these buildings as quickly as I can, which thankfully I made it. I thought any second I was going to take a fatal 128mm APC-BC to the side, but somehow I didn't. I don't know if the mouse didn't see me. I can't imagine how he didn't unless he was zoomed in looking somewhere else. But at any rate, was able to take the capture point back again, and then moved out to try and deal with this mouse, who I know is somewhere close by in these buildings. And they're getting lined up and shot at by the other guy that's with me on the A point. Managed to take out one of his loaders, didn't really get the important side of his turret cheek there, which would have been the gunners and commander, but a crew member down and a mouse is a crew member down. That slows down the reload, if nothing else, so. Waiting for the mouse to come back. I see a shadow move. There he is. I've got Hesh loaded. Hesh doesn't do a darn thing when it hits the collar around the gun barrel there. I think it probably would have been effective if it had hit the regular old cheek armor, but I didn't hit it. So switch back over to the APDS that I know is going to punch through the mouse. And our two guys who were sitting on the hill over across the way are now both dead. But at least we got two more guys trying to come and join us in at the A point, even though we just lost one of them to Black Rhino. However, I was able to deal with the mouse, which was the biggest headache out of our way. And then after shooting the mouse, comes a Gepard. And I don't really know why he kept on driving, but I guess if you're gonna give me the kill, I'll take it. This was kind of funny here. If you watch the kill feed, the two AAA tanks killed each other. So I'm going to push up past the A point now to try and hold the perimeter, since I am literally the last thing left here. Besides some air on our team, I'm the last guy who's left. So I'm going to push up and try and intercept them before they can get up to the A point. Try to set up an ambush position here in this somewhat middle part of the terrain that's at least on the correct side of the map. If they want to go over on the other side of the map, great, I don't care. They can have the other side of the river, because that's not where the capture point is. And by now, the tickets are bleeding off fast enough that it doesn't really matter, so. I call this a comeback just because we were down and had nobody near the capture point. We were never really down in tickets, although it was close. And then at the last minute, a JPZ 405 comes around the corner and we both missed each other. But, there you have it. Victory for the king. Although at this point, I don't know if it would have been the king or not for the Centurion. At any rate, it's irrelevant. So 7 kills out of 13 hits, captured the zone twice, and had a pretty good score. As you can see, this is when I still had quite a bit to go on my Chieftain, which I have certainly finished since then, and you can go check out my Chieftain First 10 video on my channel if you want. There's all the score report. I hope you guys like this one. I'll see you on Friday for a special War Thunder video. Thank you for stopping by and checking this one out. Don't forget to check all the links in the description below. See you next time.